Welcome to the Women in AI Research channel. I'm your host, Ekaterina, and I have recently returned from an incredible week at NeurIPS 2025 in San Diego. The conference is now over, but I am continuing to share all the most interesting insights, research highlights, and behind-the-scenes moments with you. Let's dive into today's NeurIPS highlights.
So could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Marzyeh Ghassemi. I'm a professor at MIT, and I am here at WiML doing a mentoring table talking about life in academia.
Right. I know that you moved from the University of Toronto at some point to MIT, and probably have way more experience about life in academia as well. What can you tell us about that?
I think life in academia gives you a lot of flexibility. You get to get the funding that makes most sense for your research. You get to decide what your research is. You get to admit the students that will do that research best. But with all of that flexibility comes a lot of responsibility. And so it's a trade-off. It's maybe a little bit more stressful, but you get all of this choice. And some people love that. Some people don't. I happen to love it.
Well, also, when it comes to academia, do you see any differences between like very well-known institutions like MIT and some smaller universities somewhere that probably are not that well-known?
I think the biggest thing to compare is within the department and within the PI, sort of group that you're interested in. Look at what they're focusing on. There are some areas of research that require maybe large banks of GPUs, for example, right? And if you're at an institution that has maybe more resources, they might have more computational resources, right? But that won't matter as much for other areas. And so I think it really depends on the research you want to do. And you want to go somewhere where you have an advisor that sort of makes sense, and also where the resources match what you want to do long term.
Right. What about MIT? What would you say about women at MIT specifically?
In my interview at MIT, I will tell you, they stacked it with tenured female professors in PECS, most of whom had children. And that was one of the most positive things you could do to show a candidate that you are an environment. This is an environment where you can be successful as a woman in academia who also has children, which I happen to.
I see. Nice. That's very nice. My last question. Our audience is primarily early stage PhD students, also postdocs and other people in AI, mostly women.
Okay.
What would you advise them?
The most important thing is finding your community. The people who I organized WiML with when I was a graduate student, the people who I went to machine learning summer schools with, those people are my friends now. They're professors at other universities now. They're the people I write grants with. They're the people I write papers with. They're my community. So find your community and network with people, because it's not just like a silly, sort of game to network. It's finding people you want to work with for the next 40 years of your life, right? That's what academia is. You're going to work on these things for 40 years.
Right. So community, the most important thing.
It's really important. You don't want to be lonely. Nobody wants to be alone, right? Like, find your people.